Lightship. Story by Nanette. Illustrations by Jim Spence. Chapter 1. The Big Decision. Sarah Holden did not like the dark, but she dared not light a candle as she crept out of her bedroom and into the hall. She was supposed to be asleep, and if her parents caught her, well, that would surely make her father angry. Then he would never agree to her plan. Sarah threw one last look over her shoulder. Her two older sisters were still sleeping in the bedroom. She quickly closed the door. In her white nightgown and matching nightcap, she looked like a tiny cloud floating toward the wooden railing. She lowered herself to the floor so that she was flat on her belly. Then she gripped a railing in each hand. She had to strain her neck to see into the dining room below. It was nearly the next year. There were only 2 weeks left in 1824, and the house was decorated with wreaths and branches of sweet-smelling pine. A large candle surrounded by sprigs of holly sat in the center of the dining room table. Her mother was seated at the table with her hands folded in her lap. Her brown hair was done up in a neat bun. Her dress was spotless, although she had been wearing it since morning. As usual, she was the picture of calmness. Her father, in contrast, was pacing before the fireplace with a worried frown on his face. He was still wearing his captain's uniform, a blue suit with white buttons. Light from the fire cast shadows on the wall. The shadows looked like dark clouds, restlessly searching for a way out of the room. "I don't like it, Martha," her father was saying. "I don't like it at all. It's far too dangerous." "My dear Captain," Mrs. Holden responded, "I said those very words to you when you first told me of this assignment. And what did you say? Don't worry, Martha. The ship is strong. I'll be safe as a babe in its mother's arms." "Well, that was different," he argued. Mrs. Holden tilted her head. "How so?" she asked. "Because I've been at sea all my life. If something comes up, I know what to do and how to do it. The crew, they're experienced too. You and the girls have been on short journeys, but nothing of this sort. Taking the 4 of you along is simply out of the question." "You make it sound as though you are going to the South Pole, when in fact you're not going far at all. The ship will be anchored a few miles from shore." "Yes," the captain said, "but it's a deadly shoreline. They don't call the coast of North Carolina the graveyard of the Atlantic for nothing." "Captain," but he sat at the table and raised a hand to stop her. "Perhaps you don't understand the nature of the assignment," he said. "Let me explain once more. I have been chosen to be keeper of the Diamond Shoals Lightship. A lightship is not like an ordinary vessel. It is anchored offshore to warn passing ships away from the sandy shoals, which can crush a ship to pieces. It is particularly important that the lightship remain at sea during storms, when violent waves can drive other ships into the shallow waters. Martha, you have never been aboard during a truly powerful storm. I have, and I do not wish to risk the lives of those I love." A sad smile crossed Mrs. Holden's face. Reaching out to take the captain's hand, she said, "My dear, I know how much you love us. I wonder, do you know how much we love you? We miss you when you're gone, and we cherish the times you are with us. I have never complained before, because as captain of a regular ship, you are always home for long stretches. But as keeper of the lightship, you'll be expected to stay on board the ship until you resign your post. That may be years, my dear. I, for one, would rather risk the most powerful hurricane than be apart from you for years." The captain bowed his head. He had been a sailor since the ripe old age of 11, when he had first signed on as a cabin boy. He loved everything about the sea, from the feel of salty air on his skin to the dance of sunlight on clear blue waters. But more than all these things, he loved his wife and 3 young daughters, and it showed now in his face. Mrs. Holden saw that he was wavering, and she squeezed his hand tighter. "The final decision is yours, of course," she said. "But keep in mind that just last night you were saying that the lightship was well built, sturdy, unsinkable, you called it. Didn't you?" I don't want...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?